Welcome to a brand new episode of The Founder. We have yet another wonderful guest with me, and today we have Danushka from the House of Gifts. How are you doing today?
Fine. Very hot though, right?
Very hot, yes, indeed. So tell me all about you and all about the House of Gifts as well.
So House of Gifts was actually founded by my mother,
Okay.
who took in this concept of thinking outside the box.
All right.
So she founded the company 15 years ago. 15 years back in Sri Lanka, there was no such market called the gift. There's nothing. So everyone who wanted to buy a gift either would go and buy something of ceramic ware, some china, some glasses, or sometimes, a biscuit packet.
That's usually the case, but
Yes.
especially like weddings, right?
Correct. So when it came to that era, so 15 years ago, we started off this whole industry of how we can bring in gift items and, create that market.
Right.
So we were we didn't have any competitors as such, so we were like new entries in the market. So bringing around this concept of gift giving was quite easy.
Yeah.
So later on, 15 years rolled off. Now it has come to a certain point where now Sri Lankans are getting trendy. And they always want to look for something different.
Yes.
So that's where we come in as House of Gifts. We have been in the market for 15 years, right throughout. So we have understood the market well.
Right.
So we have a very limited staff, around about 20 guys. We have 2 showrooms currently operating. Previously we used to have 4. But with time, we realized that the need for customers changed quite frequently.
Right.
Like how when you go to go and buy a top, a dress,
Yes.
that changes, the fashion changes
Yes, of
every
course. Yeah.
every 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Now the mobile fashion changes.
Yes.
So like that, the change in gift
Yes.
also has happened. People always want to give something different. They don't want to give you the same thing.
Yeah.
And talking about our company, we have so many ranges of products that we offer.
Okay. And where do you find your inspiration from for your gifts?
Quite often it has been, we travel a lot.
Yes.
Myself, my family, we travel a lot.
Yeah.
So what we see is we see that there are things beyond the means of gift when we go abroad. So when we see these things, we realize, oh, why can't we have that over here?
Yeah.
So for close upon 5 years or so, I've been traveling up and down, mostly majority to China.
Okay.
So sourcing all those items, hand picking them, each individual item. So we use a lot of inspiration from Pinterest.
Yes.
So
Okay.
it has been one of the main board hubs for us. As well as we go, like we do our travels, we look around, we see what is there. Try to offer that same thing over here as well.
Okay. And do you provide any services?
Yes, of course. So services, we just started a few adult services, but other than the general gifting, so gifts come with wrapping.
Yes.
So wrapping we offer as a service.
Okay.
So it's free of charge.
Oh, that's great.
So when you buy a gift from House of Gifts, you generally get it wrapped. Only thing is you have to buy a wrapping paper
Yes.
from
okay.
us, which
Yeah.
will probably cost you around 80 to 150 bucks.
Yes. And when it comes to the products now, what are the ranges that you guys have up to this day?
So we cater to a large range. So we have recently figured that because of the recent problems with the economy and previously the issue we had with the bombing, none of that actually affected us very badly because we get several avenues of products. So for example, one of our main areas is gift items. So it says in the name. But other than that, we do glassware, decorative glassware.
Oh,
so we are one of the largest decorative glass importers in the country because you can't manufacture here.
That's true.
So when you see this, different shaped, odd shaped glassware. So from conical shapes to these, you get these apothecary jars.
Yeah.
Then these square shaped vases
Yeah.
you see, Generally, majority would be probably from us. So we do
And it's brought in.
correct. So most of this is imported.
Okay.
Can't manufacture in this country, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So we have a large range of glassware, decorative glassware. So we provide to majority of the event planners,
Right.
then florists. So for example, Shironas,
Yes.
we are one of the main glassware.
Glass workers. Okay.
So we can go on from there. So that is just one avenue.
Yes.
So like that we have the gift items and the homeware and the lifestyle wear.
Okay, that's really good. You guys have come quite far, but in your journey, do you remember a time where you had to face a difficult period or a challenging experience? Of course, was there any challenging thing that you had to go through?
In business, it's always a challenge.
Yes.
So one thing we realize as businessmen, every day is a challenge. But we have the sudden hiccups that you get for some reason. We are quite absorbent. So what we try to do is all those two challenges we try to we have a very hands-on approach with regard to our business. So I'm practically, my office is right behind back of my flagship store. So I constantly do I do a walk around my store. I try to see what's happening. I always told my staff not to call me sir or boss.
No, nice.
So my sir and my boss is my manager.
Okay.
So generally I walk around, try to see what customers say, what customers do, try to see what kind of things they want. Because every single time in Sri Lanka, they're very picky.
Picky, very.
We really want to find, something unique. So in our case, we have more than 5,000 SKUs.
Okay.
And over that, I think around 2,500 variations of color and shape.
That's amazing.
So when it comes to total, we generally have around 10,000 variations of products. So because of that, it's very hard for a customer to come and say, okay, I can't see anything here. I don't see what I can buy.
Yeah.
So generally, it's the other way around. People come and buy something, they tend to have a difficulty in trying to make up their mind.
Exactly. It's overwhelming when you have a choice like that. Do you remember when you initially started, was financing any difficult? Did you approach any banks?
No, actually, we were quite self-sufficient in that sense. So we have two avenues. One, we do retail, and another we started as doing wholesale. So majority of this is either cash or card.
Okay.
So we rarely do on checks.
Okay.
Other than if you do on wholesale. But the cash has been coming in.
Okay.
And business has been good.
That's good. That's
and
great.
Year on year we have been growing.
Okay, that's great. Where can people reach you on your social media platforms?
So when it comes to marketing, I feel that social media has done a huge favor for us. So I think we are one of the companies that are active on platforms that are still have not approached our market.
Right.
So we are currently on Facebook,
Okay.
one of our main neighbors. Then we are on Instagram as well. We are on Pinterest and on Twitter.
Awesome. So you feel like social media has been one of the biggest
Definitely.
marketing strategies.
But social media always has its up and downs.
Yes.
It's it kind of sometimes becomes a bother when you have the same person commenting and questioning, asking you the same question. How much is this? What is the size?
Yeah, that's
So
always there.
We have had different ways of
Or like
countering
the
that.
price, please.
Yes, PB.
PP. Yeah, I just recently got to know that abbreviation, PP, for everything.
So PP this, PP that. So one constant thing we try to do is every single week we have 2 campaigns that we run. So over a month we have around 8 campaigns that we run.
Right.
So more than that, all campaigns that we run
Yeah.
on all social media platforms are the same.
Okay.
So we don't change or differ. So because customers tend to,
Yeah.
so we give that constant flow of reminding the customer, okay, we are on this,
Yes.
we are on that, and we are on this. So you keep thinking, okay, so these guys are actually doing something.
Yeah.
Social media has done, a huge way for us.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Danushka, you've come a long way, and you're pretty much the boss of your own company. Would you ever work for someone else if you ever got the chance?
I actually thought about that for myself when because in my case I have learned a lot.
Yeah.
So more than what I've gained from where I learned from my university, from my college, it doesn't. It beats what you learn from the street.
Right.
So I've learned a lot, and I'm still open to it.
Mm-hmm.
The one good thing is learning never stops.
Yeah.
So if one day I have to work under a boss,
Yes.
still be open to it.
Okay. Now, speaking of a boss, if you ever had the opportunity to sit at dinner with the founder of your liking, who would you choose, locally or internationally?
Good question. So, with regard to me, I generally tend not to follow a lot, but I've had a following towards Sir Richard Branson
Nice. Okay.
on how entrepreneurial he is.
Mm-hmm.
He has this attitude of never say die,
Yes.
always try to change something, always he's the guy who generally changes attitudes
Yes. True.
or
Yeah.
sets attitudes.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's a guy who I would like to aspire to be.
Okay, yeah, and since we're on the topic of Richard Branson, would you ever consider yourself as a risk taker?
Of course. So give you a quite short example.
Okay.
So the store you see, the flagship store you see currently,
Right. Mm-hmm.
was a flat old building.
Yeah.
It was made out of scraps from previous parts and buildings. So I had this thought, it's the gift industry is evolving so much, so forth. Everyone is coming into the market, and what I always thought is just because you sell a product, that shouldn't be the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
It should give an experience to the customer.
Yeah.
So I created my flagship store in creating that experience.
Okay.
So that showroom was done within a span of 2.5 to 3 months.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that was a complete steel structure with glass all over the place. And we started, for some reason I started in late October, just 1.5 months away from my season, the most busiest time I tend to gather. So imagine my showroom was half done
Yeah.
when I started off the season. So right somewhere I think when we finally finished the whole structure, it was around the 12th of December.
Yeah. Okay.
Halfway through the season,
Yeah.
but still better now.
Oh wow.
Those are things that I generally
That's-
do.
wow,
I'm
that's
a mega
amazing.
risk taker.
Yeah.
If someone tells me to jump over the ledge and see if you can tie a rope around the back end, I will do it.
In a nutshell, you're up for a challenge. That's good.
All
That's a
the
good attitude to have. And now, since we're here at this wonderful place, the Colombo Cooperative, they're all about providing modern workspaces for companies of all sizes, whether you're a startup or whether you're someone who is looking to start something. Of course, they have a question for you, Ms. Danushka. What is your number one value in business and in life?
I feel it's trust.
Trust.
Because for me, when I trust a person, I go wholehearted.
Yeah.
I try to inculcate that value into all my stuff. Because if you breach that trust in any form, it's very hard to gain. Imagine my company, when my mother started, we never did any mainstream marketing.
Yeah.
Still, up to now, we don't. Now we have social media. But imagine the trust that we used to have with our customers, or the trust that our customers build with us. For us to go total word of mouth. The whole marketing behind House of Gifts was word of mouth.
Right.
So right up to 12 years or so, it has been word of mouth. Nothing more.
So, Ms. Danushka, what would you say is your definition of success coming into this business and being in it for more than 15 years?
Focus.
Focus.
And enjoy what you do. Mainly because if you're an entrepreneur, if you are your own boss, if you want to do what you do, you have to enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
So I thoroughly enjoy what I do. It's something because it's a way of creating a lifestyle, showing people how you should live, what you should do, you should enjoy.
That's true.
So basically, in my life theory, enjoy life, love what you do, focus on your priorities.
Mm-hmm.
That should be.
Yeah, and if someone's out there who wants to do something similar as you and they just have an idea and they're struggling to start, what kind of advice would you give to them?
Always seek support, because I think it's inherent in most of us sometimes not to seek help.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Sri Lanka, we are a hospitable country.
Yeah.
So many people who would like to help each other out. But whole problem is we have this ego
Yeah.
and this attitude thinking, okay, we will never break that.
That's true.
Or
yeah.
it's always thinking, okay, we shouldn't ask for help. You think all these businesses that we aspire to started off without gathering help.
Yeah.
Even Steve Jobs wanted help.
That's true. That's true.
And be open. Be willing to take the risk.
Mm-hmm.
And be willing to trust in each.
Yes.
Because if you don't trust anyone,
Yeah.
difficult to work.
It's difficult to work. Yeah, that's true. So it's been a pleasure talking to you, Ms. Danushka. You're a very well-to-do person and very interesting as well. Some good advice I've taken from you as well. So I wish you all the very best of luck for House of Gifts, for some future new endeavors and all of that. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So there you go. That was Danushka from the House of Gifts. And of course, I'll join you next time on The Founder.
Let's begin.